Hello and welcome. Today we are at Billund Airport that has been released the other day by Vidandesign. And now I would give you a look at the main project. As in the past weeks we have not been able to say anything about the project as it was in the beta stage. So now that we are out of that and I have the version that was released, I thought that I would give you a little trip around the airport to show you how it all works together and some nice features. One thing that I should mention here is that this particular airport requires a plugin and a library called SAM. It is for animations of gates and marshal support. That is required. It is also stated at the stores and where you can actually download the latest files from, as it is important that you keep the latest files, of course. But it is not shipped with the main add-on, so you have to download it. Else the airport would not work correctly. You would not have gates, and you may get warning that it is not able to render the airport correctly. So that's it. Okay, we are here at the main terminal. Normally you would arrive from over here, of course. Where you come from any of the directions. And we got the main road that passes the main runway end, and it is it. There is no tank station, you can see, but the hotel and such is there. Also, some things that you would notice if you are familiar with the area that is not part of the main air side, as we say, when you are where the aircraft is that some of the things here could have a bit of differences, but anyway, it gives the right impression of the airport and does it pretty fine with the parking areas and such. As there is a lot of details in the main project here to give you a nice representation of the main airport. The internal is not modeled. If you might think about that from the Aalborg, it's not done here. You can see it's empty, so don't expect that part of it. But now let's get into the air side here, where our aircraft actually is parked at the moment. And as you can see, we have the guiding marshal here. For some of the other gates, there is actually here the normal our guidance systems. Sorry, I have to do it this way. I apologize. And it would recognize the aircraft when you get closer, and you can go into the same plugin and configure how far out and the volume and all that stuff. I'm not gonna go into too many details about that side of it because it actually works just fine. Could try to demonstrate it here if it would allow me. I mean, it is linked to the beacon light. See, or I actually have to shut down the engines. Yeah, I have to. Okay. Anyway, I can do that. I then just have to open this and set the ground external power. So we have some electricity. There we go, available. And then we can shut down the engine here. And then the gate would be set for our aircraft. And the doors would open and everything is just fine. And if you know this Airbus, it has its own mechanisms for opening doors. You can see I did not do anything. You could always do it manually. Yeah. So that is it. Else you can see it pretty much is as Billund is in real life. You even got the different parking positions, even though it is only some of the parkings you can use with help of Marshall and guiding system. I'm not that much into same. It could be that you actually can do it, set it up to work, so you at least could get a Marshall, and that would be just fine. But that's it. As you can see, I'm not going to talk about quality or anything because it actually shows by itself from this developer. As you would know, this is the project that was brought to you in FSX and prepared, and now has been converted and ported over to X-Plane. Something that I have been talking with the developer about, if there perhaps could be a benefit of doing it, because more and more people are moving on over to X-Plane as well. We got a bigger market for that, also because they are coming more and more add-on aircraft, so it all goes hand in hand. And here we got the nice de-icing area of the airport. We are being de-iced, of course, here in the winter season. Now I'm gonna move a bit quicker here, so it's not gonna take too long here. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk a bit too much about how the airport is because actually you may know that originally I was helping a developer for quite some years ago to get Billund to the flight simulator, and that's not what John and Vidandesign are doing. It is another company. So I actually have some knowledge of the main airport and could say some given things. We got the weak backlights here. It's the stock ones, but it doesn't really matter that much. Else you would know this the scenery from FSX and prepared, with some adjustments to actually get it in here to explain. And I can't remember if I actually did a video at some point about Billund by Vidandesign for FSX. I just know that I was tester of that as well. You might wonder a bit about the taxi lighting in such some areas. There are taxi lights and other places there's not, and that actually is no failure. If you look at the main airport charts, you would see that it is that way in reality for this area over here. And the newer terminal, it is only the green center line taxi lights. That is or guiding lights, I should say, that is there. That is actually how it is in reality. If it should be 100% accurate, I mean that there are some, I can't remember it, but like some poles, it was just overdone in the version that I was working on, to illustrate where the runway actually is, and the main purpose for that, as far as I remember, it is quite some years since I was there, and on the air side, that it is mostly for the winter operation. If there is snow, then to actually give an indication of where is the main taxiway as such. Of course, you know it more or less, but it's some guidelines. And here you sometimes could see pretty much a lot of aircrafts being parked. You even see those parking spots over here where they actually can park aircraft, and it's basically because there is a company here in Billund Airport, a big known company that actually has quite some aircraft that is rented out for service all over the world. Now we are over by the tower, as well as our little helipad over here, where you can see some emergency service here. for the helicopter, so they can send people out with the helicopter if that is required, and then fly them to the nearest hospital or area where they actually can land with the helicopter. Then we can move on here. And over here, I forgot, there's a hill in reality that goes up where you can park, and then you have a nice overview of the end here of runway 27. But do note that the airport is made flat. It is a bit sad, but there is a quite good reason for that from the developer. That has to be some information about modeling and such for the main airport and such, and the main project was not original built for Explain, so that also explains a bit and gives some kind of a compromise, and in my logic, well, it's pretty fair. The alternative would be that we would not have the airport, and that would also be sad. So it is a bit of a compromise, because in reality it wasn't planned that this airport actually should come out for Explain. At least not from what I have understood from the developer, and we have talked about it, and that's a closed subject. As of course, I also use quite some confidential information, and that's not only for this developer, it is also for others, and that's quite a responsibility to have, to be that far into the processes. So I'm just happy that we got the airport today, and by the quality the developer is delivering, it is quite nice, and I hope that you also could see that, and you would find it interesting to buy this project. And by no means I am sitting here and say it's the best of the best, you should buy it and all that. It's up to you to decide. I just say that we have the add-on. I have now shown a bit of the project, and then I would call it that for now and move on. Let's see where we get in the future, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.